let's see.
Do all millionaires think the same? Today we find out.
I don't know.
A millionaire.
I'm not a millionaire.
I can answer. Finally. We're doing a Jubilee Spectrum. Spectrum, yes. Which means I get to play along and you can silently judge me. How about that?
Self-made has to be somebody that was growing up broke.
I disagree with that. You can mow lawns for a few months and make like a few $1,000s.
You know how many lawns I'm gonna have to mow?
It's a lot of lawns.
Ones? Did you say ones? A lot of lawns? A lot of lawns! That's right, poor people. You're not mowing enough lawns. I keep telling you guys. You gotta get lawn mowing.
True.
What are you doing?
I'm
Cringe?
so sorry. You know what? He's right.
Multi-millionaire.
Right.
Please welcome Tim Sykes.
The key to my success is just working hard, like 18 to 20-hour days every day of my life. And
A
having
stock
no life,
trader.
but having a lot of money.
All right, I don't care who they are. I'm sorry. They're all 6 millionaires with
True
different
though.
values and beliefs. I am self-made. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Strongly agree, somewhat agree. Okay, I would put myself agree.
Oh, okay. I think that's true.
Okay, so 72%
Make
agree.
it 1080p.
Growing up, I didn't have anyone in my family that was in real estate. I didn't have anyone in my family that, you know, had millions of dollars. And
Does
so
he
for me, I do
flip
remember
properties or
being
something?
like 15, 16 years old, having 20 bucks and working part-time after school and like saving away all that money. And then I used that money to get my real estate license. I barely graduated high school.
Oh, his head's on his body.
I never went to college, 2 divorced parents, so I should not have become wealthy.
That's right. If your parents divorced, you got no chance. I know he's just listing a couple things. I get it, but still, that sounded kind of dumb. Sure, you can list things that would make it easier for you. I don't know.
Statistically, but I believe that I put in the
No one no one statistically
I don't know where you're getting
is
your
going to make it.
testicles
Statistically, most
from.
people don't.
I literally started from the bottom. I'm not saying that I was ever homeless or anything, but I did grow up in a single-family household.
Everyone's odds are stacked against you. Shut up.
Administration, my counselor told me I would never make it in business.
I feel so self-pitying to go like, I should not have been successful, guys. Everything was against me. I just had to. Am I being crude? Maybe a little bit. I just
think
generally
that she's
think
just
people
trying to relate
becoming rich is such a fluke.
Everyone being
That
put down in
that
their
doesn't mean they
lives.
didn't work for it, but it's so much luck involved in it. So to act like somewhat self-important or about it, it just I don't know. I feel weird about it.
Somebody that was growing up broke, in my opinion. Like, you got it from the bottom, and I didn't get it
So
from
she was
the
never
bottom.
I
broke?
disagree with that. I don't think
No, I agree with her actually. I totally
agree with her
you need
too.
to come from straight from the bottom. Like I started with a few
I agree with her
$1,000s. I
big
know a lot of
time.
people who started.
I get a small loan of $1 million.
Education, time, sacrifices are all very different when your family is very comfortable and stable. It's very different from somebody who does not experience life that way.
It was very tough for me. What do you mean 1,000? That's a ton. Like if you have nothing, $1,000, that's a huge advantage. Are you kidding me?
Their whole businesses with a few $1,000s.
A few thousand is more than what I had, so in
Yes.
my mind,
Like a few
you're gonna
thousand
be
isn't
better.
going to make or
Yes,
break
it
your
matters.
business, like your life. Like you can't.
$0?
Let's say you start with $1,000. I still believe you're self-made. Even 10,000, even 20,000, because you're not truly like even 6 figures or 7 figures.
I'm broke, and I live at mom's house with $0. You're in a way better
But you
position
can, you
than
can
me.
mow lawns
Yes, you are. Oh my God. Does he not see it? You can mow lawns. Here it
for a
comes.
few
Keep
months
bringing
and
up
make like a
mow
few
lawns.
$1,000s. Like there's
Guys,
ways
You know how
to-
many lawns I'm
Chat, please just go mow
gonna have to mow?
lawns.
It's a
Oh
lot
no,
of
this is a
lawns,
replay
but
of
that is
earlier. I was so
self-made.
confused.
The
I was
point
like, why
was
is this his one
how
and
much
only
do you
answer
feel like you're
to
self-made?
everything?
And if you start off with money given to you, that's obviously an advantage.
Yes.
I would have been better off if I had
small
money
loan
in the
of $1
beginning.
million.
That would help tremendously.
I know what it feels like.
Oh, oh.
Oh, they better not all agree. They better not
All right,
all
let's
agree.
see where I would put myself.
You know it's not true
I would
after
put
the last
somewhat
one.
agree. Maybe this will piss people off. I don't know. I just remember being the reason somewhat is just for a short time. It was a short time. I was very, very poor, and I was too proud to ask my parents for money. And I could barely afford buying food. I'm sure most people gone through this at some point in their life where you can't really afford food. You just buy. I remember just buying pasta and just living that off for a month, and I would eat it plain with some spices, and that was it, because that was all I could afford. But it wasn't a long time period in my life. It's not like I grew up being poor.
What does it have to do with anything?
Or whatever.
What are you guys talking about? I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Did they just high five not being poor? Let me see that again.
Just randomly.
Yeah,
talking
not
about
being
his
poor,
story.
gang. Look at these over there. Oh,
There's a
man.
difference between being poor and being broke. I've been broke before. Like, me and my husband have been broke many times in, like, our relationship. But we've never been poor. And even, like, a long time ago when I lived in a one-bedroom apartment with my family, we were never poor. I mean, I was happy. Like, I had pudding. We went to,
good.
like,
I'm glad they
parks
didn't
and
all
stuff.
agree.
I never felt poor.
Damn, she had pudding.
glad they
I
didn't
had
all agree.
Spaghetti. You don't understand my struggles.
They got kicked out and moved into my grandparents' garage, and so I was poor mentally and I was broke financially, and I had to take care of myself at a very young age. So for a decade, I was running a pool company in order to eventually gain the opportunities to ultimately move that ball down the court, obviously. So,
But were you happy?
I mean, I wasn't.
What the hell? Why are you happy? He said he was poor financially or mentally as well. Like,
Not really,
Obviously
right?
he's not
Because there was a
happy.
lot of stuff going on, and like I'm living in a garage and I'm growing up, and I had to not only.
he didn't have pudding. I think that's the issue here. No pudding.
I had to bust my ass off to help my mom. So for me, I feel like we all start from somewhere and we go through certain motions because it builds character.
I like that. I'm jealous of you guys. I wish I had that mindset.
Oh,
Like, I
this
traveled to third world
Felix.
countries.
Oh, I wish you would have just said
kind of-
PewDiePie.
This
I
guy
didn't
wish he could
understand
mow
what you were
lawns.
saying. That's why
That's
it was
really
so
it.
like out
I
of
grew
left
up
field
really,
for
really
me. I was
great,
like,
but then I hit
this is so
20,
unlike
and
Aiden. I don't know
moved
what
out
he's
with some
doing.
boy, and the situation got very, very domestic violence-y. Now, I was living in a penthouse, and
Sorry,
I'm
it's a
sorry, I got too
default
much pride.
strat in
I
this
wasn't gonna
chat,
go
so I
back
get used
home.
to it
And
after
you
a
know,
while.
I'm like black and blue, like getting locked into like closets, like really, really toxic stuff. So that for me was very, very poor. Now, did it
I mean, that's obviously awful, but what does that have to do with being poor? I'm so confused.
shot me to six-figure a month income? Yes. But in that state of mind and in that environment, I felt like I was really poor. Like, I looked beat up, and my direct deposit was not gonna fix a black eye, you know? Like,
Huh?
I should pay more.
Oh, no, no, no. Oh, God.
Well, I wonder if he's gonna answer. Is he gonna answer?
No. I don't want to pay more taxes. God damn, I look so red. What is happening? I need to stop shooting so late at night. What the hell? I look insane, dude. There must be something going on here. Why is
You
it so
really
dark?
said
There's no way.
no.
There must be something on my camera settings. All right, guys, this is how it looks now. I'm
Whoa.
sorry, guys. I'll get it fixed next video. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. I thought I would be the only one.
He said no.
Boo!
I feel
They
like,
all
you know,
said
you make more
no.
money, you obviously do have to pay somewhat more, but
No!
I don't feel like we deserve extra things to pay just because we have more money. Like, we shouldn't be looked to as like a fund, you know, from the government or someone else who just feels like, oh, you have more money, you should pay more in taxes.
I just feel like there should be a little bit more freedom with it because it's really, really stressful. And I feel like a lot of businesses fail in the first 3 years because of taxes, not because they're bad at business, not because they're bad at managing money, but because they're not prepared to do everything by the book.
True. I don't mind
True.
paying taxes, obviously. I just wish I knew where they were going.
Big companies who sell a lot of their services, like in
What
the U.S.,
country
and then
does
they
he
have
live in?
some
Do we
like
know?
Ireland tax status where they're getting out of it, like Apple and Amazon and these big companies that
UK?
theoretically should pay billions in taxes, while it's us average people who are really supporting the government. I think there should be a little
Average people. Yeah, they are average people
God
millionaire.
complex
I see what he's trying to
us.
say, though.
Average
Because everyone likes to pick on
people.
millionaires and be like, more taxes, when in reality, these huge companies are avoiding so much. But they are supplying jobs. They are supplying a service. I don't know.
Amazon paid $0 in taxes.
Did you see Bezos is donating?
Didn't Amazon say that because they cut on losses? They got a tax break or something like that? I don't know enough about these things. I just know people like to throw out lines without knowing the nuance. Just like I just did.
He donated $690,000.
Yeah.
And he makes an average of $200 million per day.
Yeah.
And he put out a whole press release. And I'm just like, come on, dude. Like, give a little more.
Donation shaming! Donation shaming! You're not donating.
Listen. It's been going crazy with COVID-19. All the donation shaming. Please stop. Please stop donation shaming people, because it is so inconsiderate. most of the people who shame are most likely not
I
donating.
think enough. I see your net worth
anything.
online. You have to donate more.
Yeah,
Me?
exactly.
Donate?
No. You donate, yes. Me?
No, I'm not gonna
You.
donate.
Yes.
You need to donate more.
Exactly,
fair, they
and
have created
people's
a lot
net
of jobs
worth
for
is
people. I
not
actually
their
sell
like
on
cash
Amazon,
on
so
hand.
through Amazon FBA.
Just because
He's
someone's net
provided an
worth is
opportunity for
gigantic
people like
doesn't mean
me
they can
to
afford
make a
to
living for
donate.
myself, to be
You're
able to start a
boss.
business,
Half of that.
you know, online, and to be able to make internet money. So like to have that freedom, and like whether we think that he needs to give more or not, I mean that's really up to him what he does with his money.
I spent an absurd amount of money on something because I can.
I would put disagree. I think the most expensive thing I own is my car, and that's just like 60,000.
Oh, just 60.
Just 60,000. Listen to me.
Oh my God, just
I guess
60.
I own properties.
I hope I can
I just
say
don't
that
like
one
having
day.
things. It makes me feel overwhelmed. I'm just like, no.
60.
Stop. No more. Thank
I
you.
think the most expensive thing I've bought, oh gosh, actually, I guess it was kind of laser hair removal, but that's like a lifetime investment. I can't explain to you how hairless, confident, and sexy I am ever since I got that. It's just life-changing. So
I realize
don't
how
think it's
spoiled I
ridiculous.
sound, but if you were in my shoes, you would understand. It's really tough.
I don't think yeah.
Getting free stuff all the time.
He's so grumpy this episode.
My husband just got a Lamborghini.
My
and he
husband,
had a
my
Mercedes.
husband.
It was like a 90 grand car, and he added like a 200 grand car. And I'm like, why'd you do that? Like, you don't need to do that. He's like, well, I mean, I could, so why not? Like,
I don't want to pay more taxes, but I don't have to
wanna
buy
buy
more cars, but
Lambo.
I just do.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to pay more taxes.
I mean, I grew up wanting cars. Like, my whole bedroom was like plastered with cars on the wall. And then when I could actually buy it, it was like
it's so
fulfilling
fun, right?
Well, it was fulfilling a childhood dream. It wasn't even about the car. It was the challenge.
Yeah.
Then once I had all the cars, the thrill was gone. So I didn't need it.
Hey, look at that. He understands. He's learning. Money just buys you materialistic goods that just either satisfies a craving or a momentarily spark of joy that will fade.
Are you sure?
True happiness within. Oh,
no.
So I think that you should all have like dreams and chase those dreams, whatever they are. Maybe they don't cost that much.
But I mean, not everything's materialistic. Like when I started making money, I changed my body.
Yeah, I mean, that's what everyone does.
I went and cleared my
upgraded.
skin.
She got
I went and got a
DLCs.
tattoo. I went and got my, you know what I mean? Like, go and get hair extensions.
Okay,
like,
you know
I've definitely
everyone looked at her
purchased
boobs
things
after
in
she
the
said
past
that. Everyone.
that were cool, and it was because I could. But as time's gone along for me, I've realized so many times that every time I hit the goal or the destination of the target, I realized that the journey was so much more fun. And as I've achieved more success and built more companies, it's almost every time now where I get there and I'm like, man, the journey was actually funner than the destination.
I'm kind of over here with you.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, because like...
No,
yeah, but the question
go
was
back.
if you've spent an absurd amount of money.
Go
Just
back.
because you can. Not me.
I used to buy a lot of bags. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, and then once I got there, it was kind of like, I don't have a man, I don't have kids. What am I doing?
But the question wasn't like, what do you think about what's important
don't make me
now?
agree
It's
with
like,
you.
Have you done it in the past? You can't
Mr.
change
TED
the
Talk.
past. If you do, are we
can
doing
but I
changing the
control my
future?
future.
Like, what do you think about
This
material
guy's
possessions
always
now?
wanting to
Like, I'll
change
take
everyone's
True.
answers.
But in the past, I've had them. So I've fulfilled my childhood dreams. Now I'm good.
These are the same questions as before. Oh.
Yes.
Yes! Not in person. I don't know. I think a lot of times it just makes me sad for other people. The point I'm about to make is that people look at me and they're like, oh, he doesn't have any problems because he has money. So many people share the idea that if money solves all your problems, and I know I talk about this a lot, and every time everyone gets mad at me, but I just feel bad for people that have that mindset because I know for a fact it isn't true. Stop thinking money solves all your problems because it just doesn't. It doesn't.
Have you ever seen anyone frowning on a jet ski in the middle of the Bahamas while they escape winter in their home country?
Sometimes I look back on the times when I was
have
just
to say
starting off
no.
YouTube and I was just
kidding.
making enough to pay my rent each month. And that's the kind of time I look at almost back as the most happiest when me and Marcia were in Sweden. We didn't have a lot of money. It wasn't like easy, but we were equally happy then. the amount of fame and success that I got, it has been a huge package.
Humble king.
And obviously, you know, money. I prefer to have it, obviously, but.
Okay, kind of weird.
Okay, we got some split. 93% agree.
We live in a world where social media is extremely prevalent. So like being on YouTube or Instagram or social media, a lot of it's like perceived. You know, you are constantly getting like quote unquote judged.
Right, but even on social media, it really just depends what you post. That's very much
I have a stupid
controlled
$30,000
environment.
watch just for social media. Like I don't even, if you ask me what time it is, I check my iPhone. I don't even know if this thing works. But like when you're trying to grow your business, especially.
Didn't he just say, I don't care about materialistic things anymore, put me over here?
For me, like in stock trading, why do you get into stock trading? Is it fun? No, it sucks, but you can make money. So for social media, you kind of have to show it.
But even with social media, I mean, if you have 1 million subscribers on YouTube, I think you're rich.
Yeah.
Because I know YouTube is writing you a check.
Oh, so you judge people.
You know, something's
Yes,
keeping
she
the lights
does.
on. Now, I'm not judging in a bad way. Of course, you know, I work every day to try to make videos too, but in the same sense, like,
What kind
we
of
judge
videos?
people that ask us for money.
Is she a YouTuber?
Let's see the normie filter. All normies will say yes. Here's the thing. Obviously, money can buy happiness. It can buy you things that you like. It can buy you
Porn?
good
No way,
health.
I don't think
You can buy a
so.
lot of things. Obviously. Obvious.
I don't think
I'm just
so.
saying true happiness comes from here. I strongly believe that.
It's kind of like that poor broke mentality.
It's like you trick yourself to think that you're happy. You trick yourself that you want these things. So that's why they say yes. I guarantee it.
All over again, like if you're rich and you're like in a domestic violence relationship.
And we all love the idea that, and it's even what I touched on before. Like, everyone loves the idea that only if, you know, only if I was rich, then all my problems. It's like a fantasy that people like to play with. It's like the lottery. You can buy that idea, literally. That's what that is. You buy the mindset of, oh, what would I do with this money? You know, oh, all these things. And you have statistics and actual studies showing that people that win the lottery end up more miserable because their whole life got changed. And in a lot of ways, my life got changed completely due to YouTube, and not, I would say, always positive.
Like you're not happy even though you might have money, but still money can buy fun things. And looking back, like you're proud of your accomplishments, you're proud of the journey that you took to get to where you are, and in a way it can buy happiness.
Money allows you to buy freedom, and then freedom gets you the ability to have more time to find what makes you happy. It's not a direct
money
result.
buys
But it could be like,
happiness.
let's
I
say
told
your
you.
mom or your dad or somebody that had a severe illness, you know, was in the hospital and they had X amount of time to live. Now this person makes you extremely happy, and it's going to cost $1 million or $2 million for this surgery that they need to survive, and you save them. Like, you quite literally just bought happiness. Now that's not to say that it buys happiness in every area of life. Like,
but it can.
But in certain areas, like, yeah, money definitely can buy happiness.
My most fulfilling asset is the house that I bought my parents.
Exactly.
And I am so grateful to be able to do
You were
that.
serving another person.
100%.
Exactly.
Happiness.
I'm curious what
makes
this
you
guy
happy.
is going to say.
And we all find that, I guess, reason at different points in our life. Some
Blah,
people
blah, blah, blah.
figure it
I don't
out really early
care.
on,
You're
and some people
boring.
it takes them all-
Seriously? I don't want to hear the same people talk. That's so annoying. What did she say? I didn't, not a single word registered.
And it really just depends on your definition of happiness. What makes you happy? And we all find that, I guess,
No. There's no your definition of happiness. That does not exist.
reason at different points in our life. Some people figure it out really early on, and some people it takes them a lifetime to find out what makes them happy. So even though you could have a lot of money, if you don't know...
Guys, if you want to be rich, subscribe and become Floor Gang today. That's how it works instantly. I gotta say, though, people that are rich, they love to sell their idea. Kind of what I touched on before. It's like the lottery. Sell this idea that you can become rich too, when in reality, a lot of it just comes down to pure luck. And it did for me, especially with timing. I think that's probably my most humbling thing, is that, you know, if I started YouTube now, would I have been as successful? No, I don't think so. Obviously, you still have to put in the hours, and I think a lot of people judge people that are successful too, and basically looking at them like, oh, if I put up the same amount of hours of work, I would do it too. That's not really the case either. But rich people love to sell this idea to people so they can feel like they have some sort of control over their life. Like, okay, you know, there's so many autobiographies of rich people, or online programs, you know, the Jake Paul program, you can be rich too, right?
Just to touch on before he like really goes on and on, I think some people, I think rare cases, their success is absolutely inevitable. I don't think just because they got lucky here and then they made it doesn't mean that they wouldn't have gotten lucky here, here. Because they make their success with their hard work. They make their success inevitable.
If I wake up every morning and if I meditate and if I do a jog and if I have this same routine as these successful people have, then it will happen to you too as well. But it's just selling the idea that you're in control of your destiny when unfortunately you're not. The thing is, if you're happy, then you don't need to be rich, and being rich will not make you happy. Something to think about. Gently hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Very low key, very chill, very absolute garbage quality. I apologize.